All right, happy Friday. I think we are live. Welcome. We have a winter storm warning where I live here in Ohio. So if you have to drive in the snow tomorrow, please be careful. And please don't text and drive. So welcome to another Thank Toss. It's Friday for this January 18th, 2019. Welcome everybody in the chat. This will be an open chat for this evening. I don't have any specific topics for tonight. I got home a little bit late. I had to cancel the private stream I had scheduled for this evening. I was actually, oh, there's an email there. Okay. I was catching up on your emails from PayPal and Patreon. So, first of all, thank you. Looks like we're good here. Okay. All right. Welcome, Stephen. Other Steve. Benjamin. What's up, man? How's everybody this evening? Hope you're nice and warm. Yes, Steve, I am here. Alive and well and warm. I was with a friend for this evening. We were catching up. We stopped at a Bob Evans down the road. Warmed up a bit with some soup and stuff. We caught up and on family stuff, and I got back before 9 o'clock. Yes, tonight is the meeting of the two bends. So when you come to a bend in the road, say hello. Right? Bye. Anyway, some updates, topics, future show updates, well, future topic updates. I don't know if I'll be doing all of these live. I have to make a decision here next month. My contract with Comcast expires in February, and I don't know if I can negotiate a deal like I have for the last, I guess 6 years. Yeah, so, yeah, Ben, that's right. When you come to two bends in the road, say hello. Anyway, you know me, anything for a laugh. All right, some future topics will be how to succeed in Linux for 2019, a special report on the shutdown. This is affecting almost 1 million people. I did some research. I have some ideas in my head. Anyway, I don't know if I'll do that live. Probably should. I've talked about that Ubuntu should be the national Linux desktop. I might do an Ubuntu show, a weekly Ubuntu show, to give them more exposure. Cutting the cord. Can you live without cable? I might. I don't know. Debunking Linux and Windows myths. How about a newbies only show? How about only news and nonsense show? It's been a while. Valentine's Day special. And a topic on the best apps you might use for this year in whatever operating system you use. Yeah, two bends make a U-turn. But a bump up. My test, Goodbye Linux day number 8 is going great. I did log into Ubuntu Mate today briefly, as you noticed, to do the updates, and that was it. I just did the updates. I did a 1.5 minute video, and that was it. I just updated the other Ubuntu 18.10 on my other machine, and that 18.10 seems rather stable. I don't use that all the time. It's for testing. But I have come to the conclusion that all this talk about what should be a Linux for the masses, you have to give Ubuntu credit for what they have achieved. So I think a modified version of Ubuntu for newbies would be fantastic. But that's my opinion. And I think we should probably do a weekly Ubuntu show or topic. All right, let's get some people here. Who would like to join? Benjamin, yeah, let's get you on. All right, Benjamin Eldridge, welcome to the chat. Who else wants to join? You tried to install Pop OS and failed. Sorry to hear that. Okay, Ben Fitz want to join? Of course. All right. Let's get Steve in here. Of course, my Australian friend absolutely will get Sleepy in here. Sleepy, send me some warmth. It's going to be cold this weekend. All right, there we go. Okay. Hello, Benjamin.
Hello. We got sound? Uh-oh. Hello?
I can hear you. Test, test. Good?
Good now, yeah.
All right, good. Very good. Linux have a good solution to broadcast with, yeah, what exactly are you trying to do? Right now I'm broadcasting with Windows 10, but I'm using Google Hangouts. It's web-based. If you wanted to use Linux, you could use OBS. Seems to work. John, JP, you cut the cord and you live without cable fine. Okay. I might be doing that. I don't know. You know, like I said, my Comcast deal expires next month, and in the past I've been able to negotiate a deal with them. I have like a triple play, you know, what, the phone, internet, and TV, 2 TVs, and it seems to work fine. But I called them a couple of days ago and spoke to them. I didn't have good luck, but I have another month to decide. I've looked at AT&T, and they have a pretty good deal. It's almost like the Gulf, and they're gonna make you an offer you can't refuse. Okay, it would be a rather substantial reduction per month. The only thing is, I don't know if DSL is going to be fast enough for live streams. Probably not. Here where I live, they don't offer fiber fiber optic service, which I think would be sufficient. Do you have Comcast where you live, Benjamin?
Yeah, that's all we have.
Oh, that's all? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, here we're somewhat lucky. We have choices. We can go with AT&T, DirecTV, Dish, or Comcast. I wish we had another choice.
Well, I guess we have choices when you include DSL and stuff, but
yeah,
Comcast is the only real choice.
I understand. I understand. Ben F, what's up, man?
Yeah, I have Spectrum over here, and we've had 0 issues.
No, Comcast works. It's not cheap, but it does work.
Yeah.
The only thing is my bill's gonna go up. So come after next month, after the 19th, it's gonna go up rather substantially per month. And I get it, the modem fees and that fee and the, you know, cannoli fee and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But so I got to make a decision. It's one of those things where do I really want to do it? Because one thing I've always had a goal. My thing with AdSense revenue, like if it could cover the Comcast bill, it's fine. Move on. But judging by what I saw, we're probably going to be the Comcast bill. If I keep it, will run about $2,400 a year. The AdSense revenue, if it's going to be what it was last year, would be about $1,400. So I'll be about $1,000 short, covering the bill, and that's a lot.
Yeah, we just upgraded our modem,
Yeah.
and we got the modem, and I don't know, maybe my girl can confirm this, but I feel like the
Yeah.
signal on it is a lot weaker than the older one.
Really?
And
Okay.
well, they're selling these new pod things to extend the network, and I think they're trying to force us to buy those.
Yeah. I thought I saw a
Yeah.
commercial. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
anyway, I bring it home, I connect it, I get it all hooked up, and then I look on the back, and it has this website that I have to go to activate the modem. And I was like, wait a minute, I need this thing to get online. Now you need me to get to a website to
Yeah.
activate it, but I need
Yeah.
this to get to the yeah.
Hmm.
Luckily, I activated my phone has a mobile hotspot. I use that
Okay.
to activate the modem, the router.
Yeah, I haven't had
Yeah.
issues with their sir. Their modem works. I had an issue with the voice activation box of the one box. They replaced that. I mean, their service has been good. Steven says Comcast unlimited data only is $110 a month, no TV or phone. I mean, I think that's a little high, but it does work. I mean, the service is reliable. It's just not competitively priced is the thing. And like I said, I wouldn't mind if AdSense covered the bill. I wouldn't mind, but it doesn't. So I don't know. I'll make a decision next month. Colin, how are you? Welcome. Comcast needs at least one hard wire. I believe you can get only Comcast TV without TV and internet with Beast if you want to. John, welcome, but we'll still do distro hopping on your other on the machine. Okay, other machine. Okay, yeah, I stopped distro hopping a long time ago, man. Yeah,
Yeah, me too.
yeah.
I've settled on a Gen 2 with GNOME 2 on this
Okay,
Lenovo.
okay,
And my Dell, I'm probably going to settle on either Arch or Arco Linux, one of the two.
okay.
Because, that Dell has been through distro hell and back. And I want to settle on something that'll just love. So I think it'll be either Arch or Arco that goes with the XFCE or KDE.
Okay.
I've pretty much settled on Arch with i3, but I do have other desktop environments on it to keep up with them.
I like i3, Benjamin, but the problem is that I just can never find the right way of putting it how I want it. It's just I like it, but the way it works.
Ben, have you ever found anything the right way you like it?
Only XFCE, I'll give it.
Okay.
XFCE is the one that I always fall back on with something that I can just do.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like XFC. I just got too used to the keyboard shortcuts at this point.
No, I can understand that. Yeah.
If it feels more natural at this point than the mouse.
Yeah, I'm just a mouse kind of guy. What can I say?
Hello, Steve.
Hello, good afternoon, evening, whatever.
Hi, Steve.
Can you hear me? Yep.
Good. The sound's coming in good. So, yeah, we've talked about a national Linux desktop, and I just think it should be Ubuntu. I
wouldn't complain about that.
Yeah, they've got the resources. They're profitable. They've been around a while. It's not a fly-by-night company, and you know what? Ubuntu slightly modified. Like I have Dash to Panel and some other small extensions. I think it'll be fine. I think they should do it. Just do it.
They could.
So
They
yeah,
could.
I think they should. That's an easy name to remember. Ubuntu.
Yeah, it's memorable. That's what I like about it. It
Right.
makes sense.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember years ago reading an article where like Lady Gaga, like I'm usually not a fan of hers, but she was asked like what do you use, PC or Mac, and she says I use something called Ubuntu.
She said that.
This was years
Lady
ago.
Gaga, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Lady Gaga uses Ubuntu.
But hey,
Wow.
hey, she can if she can spread the word. She has a big audience.
She could write a song.
She has a big
You
audience.
can write a song called Ubuntu Rocks.
Yeah.
Maybe make it a rap song.
Yeah, that would be funny. You
Ubuntu
can write it on
rocks.
her computer. Oh, Vincent's in here. Hey, Vince.
Ah, Vinny boy, ba 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 boo. Welcome.
So Vince.
So what's the temperature there in Australia? I'll forget. Don't even tell me. Here I got a winter storm warning.
Yesterday we had 96.
96.
Oh, here it's going to be 96 this way, in reverse.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
going
he's
to
got
be
a cold wave going at 74.
We've only got 40 here, according to my
Yeah,
phone.
today's
well,
been
it's
cool.
it's going to be 19 or 22. Anyway, we're supposed to get up to a foot of snow, so that's what they say. Yeah,
Well, it's gonna be hitting me after it hits you. So
yeah.
Yeah.
So that's okay. I'll be nice and toasty with my Windows 10. Haha.
I'll be at work.
Mm. Well, I'll be snowed in if we're going to get that much snow. I'll be snowed in. So I did cancel tonight's private stream. I think some of you got the.
Well, whenever you want to do the next one, I'll
Yeah.
try and make it.
Yeah, if that snow's supposed to hit early morning, so I'm guessing after I shovel, I'll be
Shovel
snowed
and
in. So
shovel.
I'll probably schedule that tomorrow or Sunday, that private stream
One of the
on
two, yeah.
smart TVs. So be
I
on,
just got to remember to not.
just check your
oversleep.
emails. Yeah, check your emails. So I
Just gotta
canceled
remember
it for
to set
tonight.
my alarm so I don't oversleep through it.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
So that's
I just gotta
probably
remember
going to be
to
the next
put it
one,
low.
and then after that, I might do one on the government shutdown.
Mm.
I was thinking about this the other night of what we could do as American citizens to help those million people who are not getting paid for working.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
I'm not getting any sort of job or payment, nothing. It's really killing my movie.
I don't personally know anybody, at least not that I'm aware of, that works for the government. But I was thinking about this the other night because I was listening to NPR radio, and I mean, like, it just doesn't affect the workers. It's their family, extended family, restaurant owners, other people who depend on them for their patronage. It's a lot. So, but anyway, I'll talk about that on a future show. And it's something I thought about, and it's not, and it's something simple, really, in my opinion, in terms of helping someone. So, anyway, Joey, what's up?
Yeah,
Ricky,
Ricky,
yes, you can join.
Yeah. Ricky's a nice kid. I like him.
Well, he's
I
in
guess
Florida.
so,
He lives in Florida, so he's the smart one.
Yeah, he's the smart one.
yeah. How are
Yeah, I
the
know.
alligators treating you?
Dumb Toss is in Ohio. Hey.
Yeah.
Joe, do you want to join? Yes, Joe, you will join because the family says so.
Yeah.
I know I'm in a good mood.
Don't
I'm
mess with
going to
family.
get hit with the snowstorm and I'm laughing.
Yeah.
Haha. Joke's on
It's
me.
40 degrees here. It's too warm to snow.
Yeah.
So it's not warm.
You're gonna get some cold rain then.
We'll probably
some
get
cold
some-
rain.
It
Would
was
be
cloudy
st-
here all day. So
That's the worst. I'd rather deal with snow than cold rain.
I'd rather.
Yeah.
Colin.
Yeah.
Colin,
Hi,
do you want to
Colin.
join?
Yeah, he should join us. Yeah.
Yeah, he should.
There's
Let's
not
have
much
the
Aussies
other
on here.
Australian guy come in.
Can't have too many Aussies.
My.
Never go wrong with a couple of Aussie folk in the chat room.
I should just call this thank Australians it's Friday or something.
Either one. I have a Australian friend named Andrew who I met on YouTube. He's been a friend of mine for a couple of years. He's the one who actually got me on the whole Star Wars Old Republic bandwagon.
Okay.
Oh, we got a
Oh, and
Switch
speaking
rate
of
going there.
gaming,
I haven't
and
played
speaking of
Star
gaming,
Wars. Yeah.
a lot of my Steam games are now working perfectly, except for one under Proton. It's Jade Empire. That is the only Steam game that I've tested that doesn't work fine under Proton. I tried it today. It lags like a tortoise on steroids. It just doesn't want to work. But I tried KOTOR, I tried Mass Effect.
So why is everybody using Raid? Like, is there a problem with cockroaches or something?
I don't know.
That's one for me.
Cockroaches.
I don't use Raid. I don't have a
Cucaracha, la
reason
cuca-
to.
Oh, let's see. Let's get switch in here. So, all right.
Colin, howdy.
Good day.
Good day, mate. So
day.
I think we're all in agreement. Ubuntu should be the national Linux desktop, right?
I would say so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Ubuntu.
Ubuntu.
Yeah. Oh,
Yep.
that reminds me, Colin. I know you did a video on Hackman Linux for me because I'm,
Yeah.
but I
Yep.
actually have a Manjaro and a Ubuntu that I remastered.
Oh, okay. I'll check them out.
Yeah, they're on my MediaFire. I'll drop a link in the chat room.
Sure.
Now, my Ubuntu does have some. It has some glitches that I need to clear up. It installs fine. It's a system back image,
Yep.
but there are some graphical. There are some errors with it, but other than that, it works fine.
Sure. No worries.
Welcome everybody else in the chat. I don't use RAID. Like in the summertime in the garage, when there's bugs, I just grab my Black & Decker leaf blower and send them flying. Give a one-way ticket out of here.
There you go.
And also,
No smell, you know.
The Ubuntu does feature my famous black-purple color scheme. So yeah, it's a custom theme that Matthew Moore and myself created. It was my idea, and he just built the theme, so it was pretty cool.
But here, I have a question.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go
No,
ahead.
I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, go ahead. It's fine.
My question is this: is if we're going to make Ubuntu the national desktop, should it be GNOME or should we choose a different desktop environment for it?
I would not vote GNOME because honestly, it's going to confuse the heck out of people. And plus, it's not
GNOME,
very
I had to
we
bring it up.
we
I
can
had to
keep
bring
it.
it up.
We can keep it, but modified with a few extensions like dash to panel, and maybe one other two extensions that are stable that won't crash the system. If we do that, I think we'll be okay because I think GNOME in general, without extensions, has proven to be stable. I would think.
Yes.
It's still resource heavy. Still, you still need 4 gigs to make it run comfortably. However, that being said, if you have a machine at least 4 gigs with a few extensions that don't crash, it's perfectly fine. Because in my machine with 4 gigs and 2 extensions, 2. I tried a third one and it crashed. I have 2 extensions and it works fine. So again, it's gonna come down to stability. It has to work. It has to work perfectly out of the box the first time, because I always say you never get a second chance to make a good first impression, especially to a buying public. If they can do that, it's gonna sell. It's gonna sell. You know.
I think GNOME has a bad habit of like, and in their defense, I do run Arch with the testing repos enabled, so I do get kind of the latest GNOME desktop when I choose to log into that desktop environment. And from my experience, the extensions developers, they have a tough time keeping up with the versions, and sometimes the extensions will break with the version updates. And I kind of feel like relying on extensions might not be the best route for a new user.
I was trying to install Pop OS tonight on my one laptop that's got an NVIDIA driver.
Yeah.
And it's got an i7 and 4 gigs, and it was telling me it wasn't reaching the recommended things. And then when it installed, I had the screen was just, it was like set up for 640 by 480. You know, everything was just huge. I did like going through some of the setups that Pop had, going to some of your accounts and that right off the bat. But it's too bad that it just didn't start well.
Joe Prosco says it sounds like a Head and Shoulders commercial. Yeah. Are you having trouble with your extension? Just grab some GNOME and some grease it on here. No, but no. What I meant, have those extensions pre-built, pre-installed in the system, ready to go. Not installing it after the fact.
Well,
just a couple, 2 or 3, and that's all you need, really. So
we've had this argument on Big Daddy Linux Live quite often, and my take on that is the extensions are fine if you install the long-term support goes for 5 years, whatever it is, your extensions are not going to be a problem, right? The only time they are an issue is when you change versions. And the only people that change versions are people like me who go distro hopping and changing around or making videos.
The unstable Aussie, got it, yeah.
That's when it becomes an issue, right? Otherwise, if you're on the long-term support, you don't have a problem with extensions. So
I think the National Desktop, someone I mentioned, maybe you, Colin, I can't remember, should have a welcome video. Just keep it short. This is what Linux does. This is what's installed. This is how you just keep it a 3-minute short video, newbie-friendly video, to get that person started, and I think they'll be okay.
like Deepin. Deepin has that.
Do the okay? I don't.
They have a video. Very nice too.
Well, I think it should include how to install software on it too, because I've had this issue.
Yeah.
Where I installed Linux on a buddy of mine's laptop, and I specifically told him, I'm like, you install apps on it differently than than on Windows. If you want something, contact me, and I will walk you through until you get the hang of it. He calls me like a week later saying this machine sucks. It doesn't run anything. And when I checked it out, his downloads folder was full of executable files. I was like, remember what I told you?
So you just send him to PCTLC, things to do after Ubuntu. It'll show you every different way from Synaptic to Software Center to the terminal, how to install a program.
Yeah.
Send him that way. That'll show him how to do it.
Step number 1, watch the video. Step number 2, grab the frying pan.
Evening, gentlemen.
Good evening.
Hi, Ricky.
We have Traname Girl in the house. I think you're new. Welcome, Traname Girl.
We also have the
Traname Girl, I see. Traname Girl, there you.
I think you are new, so welcome.
We also have our favorite Anarita.
Anarita. It's Anarita. It's Anarita.
Steve, it's odd that you were having issues with GNOME in your NVIDIA, because what I will say about GNOME is that it was the only GNOME and GDM was the only desktop environment that took to my NVIDIA Optimus right away. I had to go through extra steps to get LX i3 and my Light DM working with my NVIDIA.
Briefly, we have a custom here on my show. Everybody, please say hello to the new guest, Traname Girl. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, Traname.
Hello, Traname Girl.
Do you use Linux? Did I miss it in the chat? What do you use?
She was sent here by Switch to Linux. Awesome.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. What do you use, Tom?
Oh, Tom.
Hello.
You tell her what you use, Pop.
Okay, Traname Girl, what do you... Wait, Traname, don't tell me. You use Arch with i3. I don't know.
I'm guessing
she's an Arch user.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Probably Linux Mint. Well, if you're a newbie,
I'm gonna take a guess that she's new.
I don't know. Tell us what you use.
Yeah, but the Pop OS, I couldn't even get. It was updating the NVIDIA driver to 340. Wouldn't do it. I had Peppermint on the same machine installed perfectly.
Well, she's smart. She's got Ubuntu on one machine and Peppermint on the secondary. Nice. All right.
He runs,
No, you have Peppermint on your main machine and Ubuntu on your secondary. I think you typed wrong.
Come on. I think you read that wrong, Steve.
Yeah.
I was having issues with my headphones. And
Oh, she's been running Linux since 06. Wow. That's how long I've been running it. Then you're as smart as I am.
she's been running it longer than me.
Yeah, she got a head start. Yeah, I've only been on it since 2010. Only full time since 2015.
all right, can you guys hear me now?
There we go, Tom. Yeah.
Yeah, we hear.
So I was having issues with the headphones. I'm like, I can only hear out of one side, and thinking maybe the things are dead. No, the balance got shifted. My balance wasn't right.
So Switch is off balance tonight.
I'm off
Gee,
balance, apparently.
was he on fire before?
Just a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, welcome, Rick. Rick Forge's fry pan. We may use the fry pan. Where's Tim tonight? I don't know.
Yeah, we
Where's
need
our Tim boy?
Anyway, Tranime girl, welcome. So you've been using Linux since '06. Wow, okay. What made you finally land on Ubuntu and Peppermint, if I may ask?
Yeah.
Those are fine choices, by the way, yeah.
Yes, they are fine choices.
Yeah.
So if
So-
we're talking, oh, go ahead. Sorry, Colin.
Oh, we both started at the same time, didn't we? I was just going to say, if we're going to make Ubuntu the Linux standard, they need to get rid of that A port. Get rid of the A port.
Well, if we're going to look for a national desktop that works, that's familiar, has a good layout, why not Mint? It works better than most distros out of the box. It has a more familiar layout. It's very easy to use. It has more compatibility than Ubuntu because they put more into it, and it doesn't have that port.
I would have no
I
problem with
think-
Mint. It's just that I started off in Linux with Ubuntu. It was my first date, as it were, probably for a lot of people.
Yeah.
So, but Mint is fine, but I picked Ubuntu because it was my first. But does it have to be? No.
And, well, I mean, Ubuntu was most of our firsts.
Yes,
And
yeah. Mhm.
The reality is it was good, but why are we not all still on Ubuntu?
What
Well-
they need,
For me,
What they need-
personally,
Yeah.
I switched to Linux Mint because I really liked the layout of the Windows setup. And when
Yeah.
I found Mint, I'm like, this is exactly what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
and it's even
Well-
better now. It's really polished now, Linux Mint Cinnamon.
Ubuntu with 2 or 3 extensions that don't make it crash, I could use it as my daily driver. I just don't want to replace Ubuntu Monte because I'm already used to it. But the Ubuntu I installed on the other machine, I installed 3 extensions. One of them crashed. The 2 ones that I dashed the panel, where I have everything on the top, and a media player, extension there on the panel works, and I'm fine with that. That is user friendly in my opinion. It's still a little resource heavy. I think they're still working out some of the kinks in it, but Ubuntu is stable. I have to give them credit, even though which is somewhat resource and it's not out of the box newbie friendly. Is it stable? Yeah, I have to give them credit, and it looks great. To me, at least, the default fonts, colors, and all that. It looks like a polished system. I have to salute them. So, Try to Make Girl says she has so many extensions. How many? But do they all work?
Yeah, most
Right.
of them do.
Yeah, okay,
But
all
what I would like to see, well, Linux Mint's based off Ubuntu. I'd like to see Ubuntu have a Cinnamon version. That would be nice to see.
I think they do, don't they?
No, they don't. You can install the desktop environment on Ubuntu, but then you would have to log out and then log back into Cinnamon. But it's not a supported environment within Ubuntu itself.
I thought it was a community edition at one point.
Even Manjaro.
I've never seen it in the
There are so many versions of Ubuntu. There's Ubuntu Budgie, Ubuntu Mate. Soon we'll have Ubuntu Cannoli coming out. I mean, it's
that's the national desktop right there.
Ubuntu Cannoli, yes. Quint, yes. My man Quint. Let's get the smartest kid in the house in here. All right, yeah.
Well, what I'll say about Ubuntu, about Linux Mint, I'm sorry, is it brings all the strengths of Ubuntu, the stability of Cinnamon, and it takes out all the annoying Ubuntu crap, if you know what I mean, like the Amazon and that stuff. So I think Mint could be a winner.
Absolutely.
Well, if we're really going to have Ubuntu as a national desktop, I think they need to simplify it, get rid of some of the, I hate to call it bloat compared to Windows 10, but keep it simple. A couple extensions out of the box, pre-tested to make it user friendly. A welcome video. This is how it works. We do not collect data like the other OS updates.
But they do.
Well, not like the other
not
OS.
like the other OS,
Right, yeah,
but
right.
understand the grammar, not like the other OS, as in we don't collect data like the other guys do, or we don't collect data like they do.
Well, Ubuntu should have a master on-off switch for that. I think in the beginning, it's all about being transparent.
Yeah,
if you're
I
transparent up front, no problem.
I think Linux Mint would do a better job of introducing the new user to the Linux culture, if you will.
Yeah.
The culture of simplicity of just it works and we don't track your data and stuff.
Like I said, I would have no problem with Mint, except Mint came in, I think, 2 or 3 years after Ubuntu, if I'm not mistaken.
That's probably the newest user here. I would have to put my thoughts behind Linux Mint Cinnamon. It's been the easiest to get on and get on to using.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. But like I said, for a lot of us, we all started off with Ubuntu, so it's a special place in my heart. You know.
They need it working like the Chrome OS. I mean, I did the Chromium OS, and I hate to say this, but every time I get on there, I really like it. It just it boots up so quick. It shuts down even quicker. It's a little different getting used to, but it's got some great functionalities to it that I see why it's getting more and more popular.
I
don't attach it to Linux.
Ubuntu with GNOME, I installed it and deleted it twice. But then I was thinking about a national desktop. And Canonical is profitable, which is important. That they have the people, the talent, the resources. I reinstalled it again. I thought I'm going to give it another shot because that laptop has 4 gigs of RAM, which is really what you need now. Next year, I don't know. But a couple extensions that I like. It's stable, and when it comes to Linux or anything, if it's stable, how can you not recommend it? In my opinion, so that's my personal thought. If you guys prefer Mint, that's fine. But I think for me, it should be Ubuntu.
Well, maybe someone who uses Ubuntu GNOME can confirm this for me. But when I stopped using Ubuntu, it was because they were putting like Amazon ads in the dash, like the start menu, and this was like a while when still using Unity. Maybe someone can confirm if they still put those ads, like the Amazon stuff.
It is available to do if you want it, but it is not turned on by default.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that. That would be a big. That I think would be a big turnoff for the new user because they're coming from Windows that's bloated with ads, and they're going to see Ubuntu with all these ads. You'll be like, well, what's so different?
I think when I reinstalled Ubuntu, I think on the welcome screen, do you want to turn that on or off or something like that, sending telemetry I mean, they're a little more transparent. So honestly, considering what Windows 10 has done, I have no problem with Ubuntu. I really don't.
Yeah, it's no contest.
Hi, Quint.
Hi.
Hey, young man.
Hello.
Hey, Quint.
How are you?
Hi.
Hey, Quint.
So, Quint, what do you think about the national, here in the States, the national Linux desktop choosing Ubuntu?
Fedora, no.
Fedora, yeah.
He's a gnomer.
Hey, Fedora's come a long way.
Yeah.
We need to get Quint a pointy hat. Quint, you need a pointy hat.
I know, yeah.
Joe Prop, but that stables are for horses.
I haven't noticed the lock screen bug, like whoever was talking about that in the chat.
I think it was Tranemy Girl was talking about it, right?
I have not seen that.
Tranemy Girl was that
was
you
it?
talking about it?
Was it? Yeah, I don't know.
Well, it was on my video.
Okay.
She was talking about it. I think.
Me and when me and Spatch we did the news and nonsense, we used to have the stable versus horse stable Linux, meaning that if it didn't crash and it worked, it was stable. If it crashed, it was horse doo-doo or horse stable. So that was a little thing,
But,
yeah.
What the bug was is that you would go to the lock screen and the top bar on GNOME would still show up, so you could still access like the activities menu.
Oh.
Well, I think Fedora's come a long way. It's a lot different from what I remember. My only issue with it is I'd rather run Arch, the rolling release updates continuously, just because I don't want to have to reinstall my system every 6 months. That's just me though, personally. But Fedora is a very good system. I give it credit.
Really, Fedora? Wow. Okay.
I still I get that software update notification every time I turn on the computer.
Well, when it comes to Linux, isn't Ubuntu, which is based off of Debian, and Arch, aren't those the two with the most software repository amount? Isn't it those two in Linux?
Fedora has a pretty big repository.
Debian, I think Debian.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah.
Last time I knew, Debian had the biggest main repositories, but if you include the Arch user repository, Arch has the biggest by far.
Yeah.
If you include the AUR.
But the last time I
Fedora
turned
has,
on the AUR, it crashed and toasted the system. So yeah.
Fedora has something similar. It's called Coper. It's like the AUR.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Like for example, the Papyrus icon theme is in Coper. It's not in the main repo, which is funny because the Arc window theme is.
Okay.
Because the one thing I've been spoiled by with the Arch-based distros is I haven't had to hunt for a PPA in ages. So like.
A Coper is actually more similar to a PPA. But it's like that same idea.
I haven't had to really mess with PPAs. I'm usually able to find either in the Synaptic Package Manager with Ubuntu based or a Snap package. Snap packages continue to grow. They seem stable.
Yeah.
So yeah, PPAs I really haven't had much to deal with that much.
My Nextcloud is a Snap package.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll have to get Alan Pope here back on the show because he's one of the Snap developers or maintainers. So yeah.
Here, TOS, let me ask you this. Why are you using Windows?
It's a 30-day test.
He bumped his head really hard.
Yeah, I got this knock on my head. I accidentally slipped on a fry pan and fell on another fry pan. No, it's I'm trying to debunk a myth that Windows is unstable compared to Linux, which is stable. I think it's the opposite. If we're talking the whole Linux universe, so it's a 30-day test to see if I can live without Linux live streams for 30 days. This is day 8 of my test. So far, so good. I still don't like the update process. It takes too long. The last big update was 4 hours. I should have had the fry pan. What am I doing? No.
If I only had one computer and I had to lay out my work for 4 hours, I would be like hurting people. I mean,
well, I asked one of my friends at the coffee shop. He has a Mac. How long does it take your update? He says, I don't know. I just let it do at night when I'm sleeping.
No, literally on the Mac, everything is behind the scenes.
Okay.
It locks it down.
It locks it down? Oh.
It basically just shows a black screen with the Apple logo and a loading bar that says the amount of time remaining. It locks it down.
Oh.
No, that's different from when I run.
Yeah, but that's kind of between reboots. So kind of like Linux, you can run the update and it does all of its thing. And then when you reboot it next, it does its update, which isn't significantly large, honestly. Because most of it just goes flawlessly in the background.
Anyway, it's just a 30-day experiment.
Yeah, but
will I last 30 days? I don't know.
Yeah, I set up Nextcloud the other day, and I've been really liking it. I have all my passwords in there now. I have my contacts in there now. I was able to sign out of Google on my phone, and then just sync everything with Nextcloud. Great.
Tranime Girl says, can I live without Linux for 30 days? Sure. I could also live 30 days without eating. It doesn't mean I want to. Welcome, Anthony McDonald. How are you? You like Elementary OS, but it's too locked down. I agree.
Excuse me for a minute.
Okay, ma'am. So we have almost 40 people watching. To the people in the chat, should Ubuntu be at least considered for a national Linux desktop? Considered. Just say yes or no. Everybody in the chat, yes or no. Considered.
I would say yes.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. It's reasonably easy.
Yeah.
Narita.
To watch. Okay. Well, demonetized. It looks like yes.
Okay. Well, I'm very pleased to announce that my hosting script works fine because it prevented Anarita's father from seeing.
Got it.
Or
Okay.
or that comment.
Hello, Andrew. Welcome. By the way, if we have any newbies, and I say that respectfully to the stream, please let me know because we all have to say hi to you, okay?
I was telling my brother that in the Linux world we call them newbies, not noobs.
I don't know where that term came from, but to me, newbie is someone who's like a beginner, needs some help, ask questions. But that's how you become. Look, I started off as a newbie back in '06. Back in '06, we didn't have Total OS today. There was no switch to Linux. There was no destination Linux. There was no Spatry's Cup of Linux. It was nada. Forget about it. There was nothing. So as a Windows user, I sucked it up, took all the pain, and learned on my own for the most part.
I remember running Ubuntu 10.04. That was my first Linux distribution. Was Ubuntu 10.04.
Okay.
And I remember having to go into the forums to find issues, and I ran that machine as my main laptop for a while.
Yeah.
And I had a Mac and I had a Windows machine, but the Linux was. Yeah, I found everything I needed. I was able to run like I did DJ stuff with my dad back then, and I was able to run like this app called Mix, MIXXX, and it ran 2 channels. I was able to transition the songs, and it did everything very well. It was my main machine for a very long time.
I just want to show.
Yeah.
I just want to show Steve something. If he has a look at this, there's the original Peppermint 1, right?
Awesome.
That's Peppermint 1. And then there was a Peppermint Ice. So there was originally a Peppermint Ice. So there was 2 peppermints quite a long time ago. Now it's all one, and it runs quite well, actually, Peppermint.
Peppermint Ice sounds like a dessert.
Nice.
Dan, why don't you join us if we got room for one more?
I have Peppermint 9 on my laptop. Not my Mac, but my other laptop. It's nice.
Yeah. It works well.
My first Linux experience was, I think, about several years ago, because several years ago, I tried like Ubuntu and Kubuntu and Ubuntu here and there, but it wasn't until I was introduced to Peppermint 8 that I actually fell in love with Linux. Peppermint 8 is my favorite system of all time. I mean, Peppermint 8 or 7, whichever one I say is better than Peppermint 9.
Well, okay, here's a question. Should Peppermint be considered as the national Linux?
I say it's a candidate.
Yeah.
When I first started with Ubuntu in '06, I felt quite comfortable with the GNOME 2 layout. It wasn't that hard to get used to. It wasn't quite ready for newbies. It took a few years. Then they switched to Unity, and I think that was the same time GNOME 3 came out, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that's the reason why. And
the amount of hatred among the Linux community as a Windows user was some ways funny. But that was like, time out, people. Whoa, time out here. So I installed both, tried both, and I made a decision that, to me, at the time, Unity seemed more user-friendly. It seemed to be, the workflow made more sense than GNOME 3 at the time. And Ubuntu hit their stride with 16.04 Unity. It was on both my machines, and it just flat out worked.
I still say out of all of Ubuntu's environments, Unity, in my opinion, is the best environment that they've ever had of all time.
It just worked.
I think that when Unity...
Honestly, I would disagree with you guys. I do not like Unity. It was either I didn't really like the workflow, even it's like exactly how my GNOME setup was. It's just I didn't really like the workflow, how the dock was like all the way down, like went all the way down. I didn't like that there was the whole HUD like search thing where you had to go through you search like one global thing.
I would agree that Unity wasn't for everybody, but I liked it because it was different, but not too different enough where I would say, oh man, that's awful. You know what I mean? It was different, but not that different.
So I tried, I think my first distro was Ubuntu 16.04, and so I tried that, and then I looked, and then I didn't like Unity, so I started using Ubuntu GNOME, and then I used that until they merged GNOME into they made it the default.
Yeah.
And by that time, I had discovered Fedora though, and I thought it was awesome. So that's when I really started liking Linux, was with Fedora.
Why did you like? What was it about Fedora that caused you to really like it?
Yeah, that's an interesting question.
The stock GNOME environment was the main thing. I didn't like Ubuntu's GNOME.
Right. A lot of people say that. A lot of people say that the stock Fedora GNOME is good.
Yeah, it's really, really nice.
But I can get what you're saying with the Unity versus the GNOME 3 thing, because I have to say that the GNOME 3 is more out of your face, because you don't see any sidebar or anything till you hit that Windows button, and then everything's there for you, whereas Unity's always there. You can hide the bar and everything, but GNOME's more out of your face and just lets you get work done.
Yeah, this is why.
Yeah.
I just like, I mean, hold on, here it is right here. So this is how I like my workflow. I really just like when I'm in full screen, just have this nice top bar over here. And then I like it where I have my dashed dock right here, which that's the one major flaw of GNOME, is that dash to dock is not default.
I have dash to panel installed. I believe it's dash to panel.
Dash to panel is a good one.
I just have the one panel where everything is there, like my Ubuntu Mate.
Yes.
Like I said, Ubuntu with a couple extensions pre-tested out of the box, so the newbie doesn't have to make it more friendly. Because Ubuntu GNOME with the proper extensions kind of looks like the old GNOME too, in a way, you know. So it's not that of a shock. It's not that much of a shock, you know.
I have
Windows.
a couple of extensions installed. Let me see. There's a whole bunch that came in Fedora that I just never uninstalled. So I have alternate tab. Basically, what it does is, so this is just the normal alt tab right here, where it's like this.
Yeah, sure.
And then alternate tab is by window, which I like better.
I actually like the cover flow, tab flow.
Yeah. This applications menu, this adds like a little, this is like GNOME 2 style right here.
Yeah.
There are lots of extensions to choose from, which at first glance looks cool. Like, look at all that candy. But a lot of it may turn out to be sour because it'll crash the system.
I have dash to dock.
So.
I did install desktop icons, but I turn it off unless I need it, because it just the extension sucks, and I don't need desktop icons all that much.
Yeah, desktop icons is not there yet.
Hey, Quint.
Yes.
When, in your honest opinion, when do you think they're going to start working on Fedora 30?
Usually they announce, it's usually around like April or so that they announce it, the beta. So they probably already started to work on it.
Okay.
So now here's my question for you, Quint, is with Fedora, is it usually a smooth upgrade if you do it right from the system itself, or do you usually breaking it and having to reinstall the new system?
It's a smooth upgrade for the most part. I did have issues with theming, but that was it. So I just had to reinstall the theming and everything worked fine. Because as you see, my system is themed a lot from the default GNOME, because I think the default GNOME appearance is pretty bad.
Yeah, because I've had issues in the past with repos breaking and certain versions of software breaking during the Fedora upgrade. So I was just wondering about that.
Yeah, it's not that bad.
They made some improvements, I see.
Yeah. So then I have the Do Not Disturb extension, which is really nice. So basically, anytime a notification comes in, it just won't bother me. Like, this is helpful when I'm streaming. Just adds this little button here. And then I have GS Connect, so I can sync my phone to GNOME, which it just uses the KDE Connect app. But it's a GNOME shell Connect extension.
I use KDE Connected. It actually works with i3.
Yeah, it just adds this little thing right here.
I just use the app indicator when I want to transfer a file or something.
Yeah.
It's a godsend. It really is.
This is all stuff that was installed in Fedora that I have.
Maybe Canonical should just call it, like, instead of Ubuntu, Extension OS. So many extensions, you know. But
looking at GNOME again, it still looks way too different for a new user.
Snap, I like Snap, yeah.
When you think about it, if you use enough extensions, your GNOME desktop is an actual community-driven desktop environment. Your own community-driven desktop environment.
It pretty much is when you think about it. But if you, like the TOS said, he installs dash to panel, and sometimes so do I if I'm running Ubuntu GNOME. And then there's another one called application menu, which gives you the best of both worlds, because that goes in, the application menu goes onto dash to panel. If you put it on the bottom, it very much becomes a familiar desktop paradigm with the Windows button to give you the desktop overview. So you get the best of all worlds in that situation.
It's you know what, you can have a new world look, an old world look. You can customize it to a point. I mean, honestly, I don't know what the future holds for Ubuntu and if we'll ever see a national desktop, but the time is here. A lot of people like myself do not find Windows 10 as fun as, say, Windows 7 was. I think people secretly are probably thinking, God, I wish we had something better that won't cost $2,000 like a Apple, computer. And I think $400 is the sweet spot. I think Canonical can pull it off. So I mean, I don't know. I hope they can. Or something like that.
The known out-of-the-box experience is way different to anything else they're used to. So you've got to admit that. For a new user, that's going to be a really huge learning curve.
I honestly think the media needs to start talking about Linux.
Yeah, well, that's one of the biggest problems.
Well, we are the media as far as this goes.
Yeah. But
We are the
like
media.
the mainstream
I mean, you had
news, like all mainstream tech sites need to start talking.
You know
about
what? If they do, I haven't seen it or heard it. Quit. The problem is Linux has 2% of the desktop market. I think my mom's homemade bread has more percentage of the market than Linux at this point.
I think one of the issues is with sponsorships, right? Like ad revenue. Like these sites, they probably get money from Microsoft to advertise their product.
I mean, Linux is not a profitable subject. I mean, if you want to be completely honest, it's fun. I think it's the future. It has potential, but it's not a profitable subject. So, networks or media, unless there's a strange tie-in story, to Linux, like, policeman answers a call and helps a lady fix her car with Ubuntu or something weird like, you're just not going to hear it,
Is that why you're on Windows, Tosh? You're about to announce that Microsoft.
That's right, yes, that's right. Windows is more profitable. But...
look at Anna Rita's comment.
My father's not called Linux, he calls it the sexy OS, okay? Sure.
Anna Rita, you have an interesting father.
We could have an adult version of Ubuntu. Call it Ubuntu.
I think you'll find that there's no national Linux desktop, and the reason is I don't think they would ever go that path unless you can sort out all the problems with video cards on both sides of the fence. And all those issues that you have, plus also the introduction of all your snaps and flat packs, and that you need to sort. That needs to be sorted.
That could be solved as far as the video graphic. I would sign a deal. Like if I was a spokesperson for Canonical, I would say, okay, let's get a deal with NVIDIA or AMD or Intel. Pick one. We're going to put this graphics in this machine at this price. This is our deal. This is our cut and profits. Let's do it. You solve the problem immediately. Immediately. If everything is pre-cooked before you put the finished food on the dinner table.
Which is what System 76 and places like that are doing, right? But the problem is...
They don't have a sweet spot price machine. That's the problem.
No, that's exactly right.
There's nothing wrong with that. They're not tailored for that, and that's fine.
Once you get a certain threshold number of users, that will become the default. Right?
System 76 machines are just so expensive, and I don't think they're even pretty. Like the designs even look outdated, in my opinion, of the machines.
Who uses System 76 as sponsor? Is it Brian Lunduke? I think so. Yeah.
he
I find
does.
that all of the laptop designs just look outdated, in my opinion.
I haven't looked, so I don't know.
And I
But
think a better laptop choice is the Dell XPS Developer Edition.
That's a good laptop.
I've heard of it.
And I still say, out of all the computer manufacturers, there was a very good reason why in 1999 Dell was the #1 manufacturer of computers in the United States, and they could still get back on top again if they wanted.
Yeah, I think Dell are awesome.
I have a Dell monitor, and it's great.
I have to say, I like the look of the wood grain on the System 76s. There, that's a pretty awesome.
The wood grain.
And plus, Dell has their own Linux division, so Dell themselves could make a Linux desktop if they wanted to. They have the stuff to do it.
Cool.
Well, they do.
I said Ubuntu because of the pure Linux company canonical,
don't.
you know. So
Not their own.
Yeah.
Not their own
Currently-
desktop, but they do sell computers with Ubuntu on it.
I mean, look at the Chromebooks. They sell because their price points are $200 and higher. The Pixel Book has been called flawless. It's pretty freaking good for a Linux machine, you know.
The thing though is that Google isn't promoting that it's Linux. They're just saying it's a Chromebook. Like they don't say
want to
it's
promote
Linux.
Linux.
Right.
It's
And that's
against
fine.
their intention.
Yeah, they're not saying it. We're saying it.
Well, but I think TOS is right that we're the media when it comes to this, and I think that if you want to get Linux out there, if you want to get people using it, we have to evangelize by, if that makes any sense, by example. We have to show that we're getting work done on our Linux machines and that it is possible to be done. And when people see that we're getting our work done, they'll say, well, if he can get his work done, maybe I can too.
And that raises a fascinating point, Benjamin, because that's why my focus isn't the geeky things you can do. I focus so much on real world applications. Like I write and publish and distribute audiobooks, ebooks, print books exclusively on Linux. Completely on Linux. And that is says so much more than anything else you can say, that yes, we can get real work done. We're not just doing it for fun.
Yeah,
you make good point, Tom. When I started with Linux in 06, I was like, what is Ubuntu? I read about it, but I was like, let me give it a try. So it took 4 years for me to. I'll be honest, it took because I was self-taught. I didn't buy books or take class. I just self-taught. That was probably the long road to learning. But I'm a Windows person with patience, which is rare. Okay. In 2010, I got comfortable enough where I told myself, you know what? These Linux channels on YouTube are not that good. So stop complaining, do something. So I started my own channel to let users know you don't have to give up Windows to try Linux. Yes, now I'm doing this in Windows 10, but I have Linux and vice versa. So dual booting it may not be for everybody. They're scared. A VirtualBox, USB, buy a separate machine. So I think with a lot of Windows, gee, if I try Linux, what if I can't use Windows no more? Well, the real world is that's not the truth. You can still keep your Windows side of the machine if you want to. But what you're doing, Tom, in real world applications, live streaming. I live stream both Windows and Linux. I'm not deleting one or the other. But I think a lot of newbies, as it were, need to be told that without making them sound like idiots. These are normal, everyday questions I asked years ago, and they have to realize that this is a community where your questions will be answered. And we won't make fun of you, usually. No, I'm just kidding. But, yeah.
I pretty much self-taught myself also. It was the Raspberry Pi is what got me into Linux. I heard about the Raspberry Pi, and I got one. And I started, and the default Linux distribution, Raspbian, is Linux. So I just played around with that, and I thought that this was great. And so then I decided to try desktop Linux a little while later.
Yeah.
And I thought it was also great.
88 Bus Stop has a question. Is there a way the Linux community can come up with one package manager that is distro agnostic? Until that, these talks will remain just a talking point. Most people get confused. Okay. That's a good question. Chromebooks, they have their own package based off of Gen 2, and that's it. It's not a mixture of Gen 2 and Debian. It's just that one system that Google chose, so it can be done. If we pick Ubuntu as a national desktop, that would be one package managing system, which would be Snaps, I suppose. It can be done. Google has done it. But right, you can't have a national system with multiple desktop environments thrown in and multiple package managers. That would just confuse the person and screw the system up.
Yeah.
So it can be done. Google has done it with the Chromebooks. That's not a problem. The problem is getting all the entities on the same page, such as whether it's Canonical, NVIDIA, or Intel, have Walmart carried, or Best Buy, or ABC Computer Store, and having a representative. I had a thought of hiring Robert De Niro as a spokesperson for, hey pal, why are you freaking using one? Come here, you got to check. No, but you know what I mean. Have it a representative, a live person there, not a robot, saying, hi, welcome to Ubuntu Linux. This is what this does. Here's Windows. This is what you can do in Linux, what you can't do in, you know what I mean? Just show it to them what they can and cannot do. And you have to be honest up front. Okay?
Well, don't you think that once they get snaps and flat packs worked out so they integrate in the system a bit more, then you are becoming more agnostic as you're moving forward.
That's a possibility, yeah.
Because at the moment, yes, it's still teething problems with snap apps and flat packs. But if they start to get it more so that it integrates a lot more, as though it's part of the repositories when it's installed, then maybe we got a good chance on that. Then because that goes across the board in Linux, doesn't it? So then you're becoming, once you sort that issue out, then you need to pick a desktop that you think can be a national standard.
Yeah.
And then you got those covered, haven't you? So
I just noticed that there are 2 bins.
Yeah, my Hangouts crashed. I restarted it. I don't know how to fix that.
Yes,
that's right. That.
Pixel Refresh says, what do you have against robots? Am I a robophobe? Well, have you ever tried to argue with a robot?
You need to talk to Tom about that. He has all the real reasons.
Which real reasons?
Danger, Fedora, danger, Will Robinson, Fedora, danger, Fedora.
Yeah, for me,
danger, Arch, Gen 2.
They damage
Tesla's are good at killing robots.
Yeah, right. So,
I started off with Red Hat. That's what somebody sent me in the mail, a disk of Red Hat. Now, look what it did to me. Because Red Hat, for me, I knew nothing about Linux. I just stick this disk in and was trying to get it going, and it just snowballed from there. But like you, TOS, I had nobody to sort of ask questions to. It's just sort of like you just tried and kept installing and trying to work out how this thing worked, and and it just kept going and going.
Well, you know what? After so many years of distro hopping, which I'm glad I did, it may sound counterintuitive, but that's how I learned.
Yep.
You learn by more mistakes. Well, not mistakes. Well, some of them, but towards the end, right before I stopped, I was just distro hopping from bugs to different kinds. So you know what? Stop. Pick what worked. That was Ubuntu, Linux Mint, Zorin, and that was it pretty much. Now I'll try different. Like I downloaded Netrunner, the latest Netrunner, which looks pretty sharp. It's the sharpest looking KDE desktop I've ever seen.
Yeah, you used to do a lot of videos on Netrunner.
Yeah, so right. So that's what with
it
Unity.
Must have been good before.
Well, anyway, that's why I stopped distro. Once I learned what I wanted to learn, I felt comfortable with one specific type of Debian base or Ubuntu base. That's what I chose. That's what was good for me, so I stopped the distro. That doesn't mean I won't distro test here and there. Yeah. But after hundreds of testing, I'm like, what am I doing? It's just one bug after another, so.
Well, see, it makes sense. It makes sense to have to possibly use an Ubuntu as a national desktop if it was ever going to go that way, because it's the easiest out of all of them to set up. When you think about Gentoo and Arch and Red Hat or an RPM base or whatever, there's a lot of messing around to get things going. Whereas Ubuntu, you can pretty much install, but they still don't. There's still a few things you need to do with Ubuntu out of the box. Whereas Linux Mint covers that. Linux Mint covers a lot of those issues.
The one thing I also like about Ubuntu and the Canonical team is that they offer free support on their forums, or if you want, paid support as an option.
Right.
Again, they have...
Yeah, and paid support is the only thing Linux Mint doesn't have, because they have a big forum, and frankly, I think Linux Mint's forum is one of the more friendly forums.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Ubuntu forum is also extremely friendly.
Ubuntu with Canonical, they don't have to rebuild the Autobahn. It's pre-built. They have it. They just have to get the customers on the road, to make this all work. That's why I said Ubuntu for a national Linux desktop, because they have the infrastructure. It's all there. They don't have to start from scratch. You know what I mean? They've proven that Ubuntu, amid controversy from GNOME 2 to Unity to GNOME 3, amidst some of the failures, such as the Ubuntu phone didn't work, Unity didn't work, they've survived. They managed to move on by making some tough choices. So they've weathered the storm. They've taken the beatings. They survived. That's why I say, you know what? They are the complete package company.
Yeah.
They are the complete snap package, as it were. Again, that's just my opinion, but I think they can do it. They have, they have the weekly Ubuntu podcast, which is great. I think they're on vacation now for a month or two, but they're on social media. They have it. I've been promoting them for years. Some of you have or talked about it. We are the media. We just have to see it in stores.
Yeah.
Then once it starts selling, it'll get picked up by local media. Hi, you may have heard of Ubuntu. If not, well, stay tuned. Coming up after the commercial, we'll talk to someone from Ubuntu or something like that.
But I have to. We all know Run with the Dolphin here.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. Now I don't know whether he was talking or he mentioned it on Telegram chat, but he said he was using his computer. He had it, and he was running his MX, and he had the GNOME desktop up and running, and his son went to use it, and because he had it left on or whatever, and his son had to use it for something. And then he realised that it was on the GNOME desktop. His son had used it and finished it. And he said to him, "Did you use the computer?" He said, "Yeah." He said, "How did you find it?" He said, "It was a little bit weird, but it was okay. I worked it out. No problem. It was easy to work out. It was running the GNOME desktop, right?" So he said that was interesting that happened, because he said he didn't have a problem really working out how the GNOME desktop worked. Even though we all say it's a very unfamiliar paradigm, people seem to be able to figure it out.
Well, what I'll say is that there were these blind tests that were conducted in nursing homes, right, with in these senior homes. People have never used computers in their lives, so it was a truly blind test. And they sat them in front of a Windows computer and they sat them in front of a Linux computer, and they found that Linux was easier to pick up than Windows.
Right. And do you know the desktop environment that was, or?
I don't, but...
you don't? Okay.
But it was a blind test, because it's like people say, "Oh, I find Linux hard to use." Well, it's because you're used to Windows. It's not because Linux is hard to use. It's because you have your workflow that you're used to. Yeah. It's like if you're coming at it from a fresh pair of eyes, you never used a computer in your life.
Some Linux is hard. Some. I remember DT did a video that Derek says, will you please stop giving Arch to new people to try? It just cracks me up. Will you please don't tell them? So some Linux is some.
Yeah. I love Arch, but I would not give it to a newbie.
No,
I can't even figure out how to install the thing.
You need a lot more patience. It's more a power users type of system. If you want total complete control, maybe the one to go with.
If you have an EFI system, the walkthrough I would recommend for you to look up is Glorious Egg Roll. He has a very comprehensive install process.
Glorious egg roll.
Yep. He has a very, very good install process for installing Arch on the EFI system. And the NVIDIA drivers.
I will never understand the propensity of developers with these names. The calamari installer. Really?
Yeah, that makes me hungry, TOS.
I know. How about the octopus installer? You know.
The squid installer.
Yeah.
There's cannoli installer.
The cannoli installer. They're going to rename the media player, the Gnome media player from Gnome. I think it's called Gnome
It's called
MP.
Totem.
No, they're calling it celluloid.
Yes, that's it. Yeah.
Nice. You're naming it after an outdated technology. Way to go. Yeah.
But Tosh, I think you need to create Ubuntu Cannoli Edition.
Maybe I should, you know.
And then you have all the desktop backgrounds or pictures of cannolis.
I could have it like Italian themed. I could have it like a
There already is. There's Justin Bieber Linux or Bieber, sorry, and then there's Hannah Montana Linux, and there is Ubuntu Satanic Edition.
I know.
Oh my!
Yeah, I've seen that.
I know.
There's actually a Christian edition too, although it hasn't been updated since like version 12.
Yeah, but you know what? Those are all just Ubuntu with different wallpapers and preloaded software.
Themes.
We have
It's not
somebody
really
in the
installed,
chat
yeah.
using Manjaro i3. Tatiana Whitaker. Hi, Tatiana. You really, wow. What made you pick Manjaro with i3?
I've had a bit of experience using iFree. I'm actually starting to get used to it, but my favorite window manager so far is OpenBox, because DistroTube actually inspired me to try it. So basically, as of this upcoming Tuesday, for the first time since late last year, just around holiday season, I'm returning to make videos, and I'm debuting a new setup. Would you all like an exclusive sneak preview of my new setup?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, you guys are gonna like this.
Do I have to bring a frying pan, or is it going to
No,
be...
you won't. This is gonna be so easy, even you'll understand it.
Got it.
Oh, I have this bucket now.
Bucket might not help. Anyway, this is it right here. The OpenBox window manager.
I like that.
Wow. Yeah, it looks polished.
Basically, have my little bar down here. Instead of running Firefox and Chromium, I've opted those two for Pale Moon and Vivaldi. Still got my manager here. I'm opting out Prega for another type of music player. I'm most likely aiming for either Banshee or Rhythmbox. I'm keeping the image viewer and the terminal the way they are. Up here is the Octopi software store. It's pretty much what I like to call the Arch equivalent to the Synaptic Package Manager.
Yes, it very much is.
And the other thing I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be bringing PAMAC in here to where PAMAC only has one purpose. All it's going to do is manage not only my system updates, but my AUR application updates. That's it. I'll still be installing AUR applications like I always do, mainly. Basically, this is my menu right here. I use a program called Menu Maker to get this lovely menu here. Basically, I have Genie, which is my main text editor. I also have a OBS working, GUVC View. I don't have a mail client yet. It's most likely going to be Evolution or Thunderbird, one or the other. I have not made a full decision yet. But other than that, this is very minimal. Also, I have for terminals, Xterm and LX terminal, and that's basically my setup right here for 2019.
And which one is Ricky?
It is Antergos OpenBox.
Oh, it's Antergos. Okay.
One suggestion is that you should see if you can find an icon for Pale Moon that matches the icon theme.
We can just make one.
Basically, I could do that, but I pretty much like it the way it is, so I'm just going to keep it like that.
Yeah.
Because the minimal the system, the better. Because I'm trying to go full on minimalist with OpenBox right here.
Yeah, Ricky, I agree. That's why I started using i3 was to go more for a minimalist. Like in my opinion, both Plasma and GNOME tend to have a lot of bloat, a lot of things that don't work, that just sit there and don't work, and that started to bug me. So I said, let me try one of these minimal desktop where everything just works, nothing's just sitting there wasting space. And honestly, I feel more comfortable in i3. I haven't figured out everything in it, but so far I'm liking the workflow better than any other desktop environment.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm on i3 now as well. It's so fast.
Wow.
Yeah,
I have to go, guys.
All right,
Okay,
Quint.
Good
Catch you
night.
next time.
Quint.
Take care,
Bye,
buddy.
Quint,
Yep.
take it easy.
See you
Bye-bye.
later, Quint.
Yeah, the other window managers that we'll be experimenting with as well. I mean, this is my YouTube machine at the moment right now, so its layout is complete. The other computers over there are pretty much for experimental reasons. Like basically, if I need to do some testing with an environment or something. One particular window manager that I've had my eye on for a while, I'm actually going to be testing it. Have any of you ever heard of Qtile?
Yes, DistroTube has talked about that one.
I'm going to be testing that one. I'm going to be testing Manjaro Awesome, and I'm also going to be I'm also most likely, I have not made a final decision, I may also try at some point the revamped version of a GNOME Flashback. They've actually updated it a little bit, and I actually have a Intragos GNOME Flashback set up on one of the drives over there, and it looks much better than it did before.
Well, for me, I'm not much of a programmer, so like these other desktop environments, window managers that have config files that are written in Python or whatever, I'm not really going to get that. I find that the i3 config file is very easy to understand, even for a non-coder like me. So I find i3 to be the best for myself.
Yeah.
I don't get into those desktops. I use the desktops that I believe are for new users, and I concentrate and focus on those because I think they're the most important ones to look at. But I don't mind OpenBox. I've used that a couple of times, but I'm really digging the Cinnamon 19.1 right now. Their desktop is really polished.
I'll be right back.
Okay. BSPWM is as easy as i3. It pretty much is. I mean, if you can master either i3 or BSPWM, it's not that hard to use.
You guys remember, what was that one Linux mint? Was it the Fluxbox way back when?
Yeah, there were. Yeah,
that was pretty fast.
I actually did not know about that until I looked up an article about that. I never knew that there was a Fluxbox edition.
They had it years ago. Linux Mint had a version of it. That thing flew. Yeah.
I'm wondering why they removed it.
Yeah. I don't know. They removed some other. I guess they had to narrow it down because of people, manpower, resources.
Yeah, I can understand.
I don't blame them. Yeah. Hello, Interceptor. Welcome. Enlightenment still out there as a DE, as far as I know, Anthony.
Yeah. Enlightenment is still going. I mean, there's just one desktop that I will never ever be trying, and basically, this certain desktop environment has not only infuriated me, but it's infuriated Switch as well. It's Bodhi Linux. I am not going near that thing.
Well, that's a lightweight one too, right?
In theory, it's supposed to be lightweight, but it takes just as long to get anything going.
Really?
Sure, you boot it up and it doesn't use a lot of RAM, but I click an icon, it's still waiting like 30 seconds for things to open when I turn it on. There's no redeeming value to Bodhi that I can find.
I guess that does not bode well.
It does not bode well.
Bada boom.
And the funny thing is, I really liked Enlightenment when I did Enlightenment with OpenSUSE Enlightenment a while ago when that was an option. I really liked Enlightenment, but I don't know, Bodhi's built based on Enlightenment, but I just...
The other one that could be in contention for a national desktop could be Deepin. They could be another one.
Only if
Not for me.
Only if the data collection was removed.
It has been. It has been. They did when they did when what's his name from Quidza. Yeah, when he tackled them on the issue, they removed it from because their software center is a link to a website, I believe. They dropped the data because it was found that they weren't transparent about it. So just so people were up in arms about it, they dropped the data thing. I don't know if that's still the case.
I don't know. There's just something about something out of China for a national American Linux.
Yeah, but TOS, you got to think fourth dimensionally. If it was Ubuntu took over a Deepin desktop on Ubuntu, that would be pretty cool.
Yeah. The thing about the thing is that the Deepin desktop environment is definitely one of the most polished. There's a few small things that they fixed. If they fixed a few small things, I would say absolutely the Deepin desktop would be good. The Deepin OS itself, I have deep concerns about it, not because of the data collection right now, but more because of the EULA. But you can get Manjaro and Antergos Deepin as well, and you can install Deepin on top of it.
The thing about Deepin is I heard that in 15.9, the one that just released, there is now officially touchscreen support with it now.
I don't know why, but when you say Deepin OS, I'm thinking of egg rolls. So
now the EULA is another thing, I suppose. But Quids Up looked at the EULA and said it was pretty harmless anyway. But
well, maybe. But if you look at the EULA, it forces you to be. One of the fascinating things about the EULA is it basically says you can't distribute this outside of China, and here it is distributed outside of China by them, and so it also compels you to. Any harm or any disagreement, you have to go and submit yourself under a Chinese court to examine. That's a problem. There's a lot of weirdness to it. I wouldn't say that the EULA is of like any other standard harmless EULA. I think there's a lot more to it.
Yeah, see, the Chinese government has a long history of violating human rights. I would not submit myself to that government.
Nope.
I would recommend staying away. But as far as the desktop environment of Deepin goes, I think that if we just keep that with all its features, it is very polished.
Well, it is.
I think I'll stick with what's been proven, such as Ubuntu, Linux Mint, and
and another thing about the Deepin desktop is it's so easy to convert it into both a Mac clone and a Windows clone simplistically. Very easily.
Okay.
It's a gorgeous desktop environment. It really is.
It is. I completely agree.
Okay.
And Dave from Linux and other stuff just did a video. I don't know if you've seen it with the changes that Deepin just made on the touch screen. So, and that seems to be working pretty well as well. So that was interesting video. That was their latest updates.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but Linux has never had really good touchscreen support, has it?
I've never used it that much. I can't say.
I haven't had any problems with the touchscreen on my Linux, but I disable it because I think touchscreen on a basic laptop is pretty stupid.
Yeah, I find it works pretty well with Linux Mint.
Yes.
Yeah,
it does. You're right.
And GNOME and KDE both have worked on that extensively. So.
Because I'll tell you what, I have one of these laptops here, has a touchscreen. I couldn't tell you which one it is. That's how much I use my touchscreen on my laptop.
No, I
it's not
installed
much
Linux
to use a laptop, but it's nice that it's there.
I use Linux. I gave Linux Mint to a person I work with who's got a tablet, and that was working quite well. I remember the GNOME desktop used to work reasonably well on a tablet. On a touch screen, but then I think it sort of dropped off a bit. I don't know what happened there, but
Wasn't Unity initially designed so that it would work better with touchscreens? Wasn't that the
Yeah.
whole point?
Yeah, I was just thinking
I think
that.
so, yeah.
I was thinking Unity would be good with touchscreen.
Well, no, it was Unity 8 that they were trying to do that, but it bombed bad.
Right.
I think KDE can be tweaked to work very well with the touchscreen.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Plasma would be perfect for touchscreens. I mean, but what they could do is they could design the Plasma desktop for touchscreen specific machines to where basically you have this touchscreen like interface to where the widgets are at the bottom and then you have your menu and stuff at the left or the right or the top. You could pretty much basically you can adjust it to whatever you like.
So I remember there was this when I ran KDE, there was this alternative to the application menu that just like took up the whole screen, like the GNOME Dash or whatever. And I think if you replace, like, there's so many extensions for KDE, it's so tweakable that you can make it very touchscreen compatible.
As for Unity 8, from what I know, since Canonical dropped Unity a little while ago, you basically UParts has pretty much taken Unity 8, and I think they're going to do something with it.
Well, since Canonical officially dropped Unity, I probably won't be going back to. I'll just stick with Ubuntu Mate and GNOME because for Canonical, GNOME is their future. So be it.
Yeah, that's a good point, Toss, because we're doing actually Unity for the Big Daddy Linux Live Challenge this week, and a few people are kind of liking it, but that was one person said, I liked Unity, but I've moved on, which is a good point, So
because there won't be anything new and exciting coming from Unity Desktop anymore. It's kind of lost its luster, as it were. So
I think when Unity first came out in Ubuntu 11.04, it was very unstable. It kept breaking on me. But 11.10, it was very stable and it was very smooth.
Yeah.
And they have worked out a lot of the kinks, and I give them credit.
I would say
it went a long way.
I would say the best version of Unity to ever exist was definitely from 16.04.
Yeah, everybody says the 1604 was probably one of the best implementations.
Yeah, absolutely. So I would say that, as far as the future of the Linux desktop, I think for us geeks, it's perfectly fine. For a national desktop, I think that's still up in the air. I think Chromebooks will continue to sell because they've proven to work and they're priced right.
I still think Google's up to something, though.
You know what? I don't think they're going to do it. I think has the best chance if Canonical, moves on to the next step, as they've been hinting, for initial price offering, and try to raise some more money. If that proves to be successful, why not take the next step and make a national desktop?
Yeah, I mean, why would Google start integrating Linux into their, and now it's going to be where you're going to do your the distro of choice. Not just using the terminal on that to get apps.
And I guess on the Pixelbook you could even do dual boot with Windows. I'm not sure why you want to, because if you buy a Pixelbook, you want to get away from Windows, I would imagine. But but I just Google has the resources, but the more I think about it, I think they'll just focus what they do good, and that's the Chromebook and the Pixelbook. But Canonical, if they're looking for the next evolution in the next step, as it were, it would be a national machine here in the States, priced at the sweet spot of $400. It doesn't have to be a beast of a machine. It just has to work, It just has to work out of the box. No bugs. It must have. If it has even one bug that messes up the system, it's over. It's over. It's got to work. It has to be perfect. It needs to have that high standard to let a Windows user know, wow, this actually works pretty good. And then wait for the results. If something new starts to sell, the media will get hold of it. Trust me. Just like if a new song or a new movie or a video goes viral or something, the media sooner or later, because that's what they sell, is news. They will get hold of it.
Basically, in other words, people are going to take notice of it real quick.
Yeah, because it's different. It's unusual.
Well, what I'll say about is this: as far as software availability goes and package management goes, the distro that I think made that the most simple and easy is Arch, and I know there's stability issues with it, but when I'm looking for an app, all I have to look for is either in the main repos or the AUR. One of two places. Now that makes searching for my apps very simple. Now here's what I would say is take the AUR, take the concept of it, maybe take some older versions of the software and make like a new stable AUR and a stable Arch repos and apply that concept to the national distro.
That could actually work. That could really actually work, because if you give the people a simple, easy place to get software from, then people are going to want to use the machine.
And I say no, don't make those repos so bleeding edge for like stability reasons. But like the concept of like the software, the main repos, the AUR, it's a good concept to like not ignore it, you know?
Yeah. Yep. I want to tell anybody, people who are joining in late or people who are new and have not yet said hello and would like to say hello or ask a question, please do. I should have mentioned this before. We're an hour and a half into the stream, but I got so excited I forgot. No, but yeah, if there's anybody new would want to, we are all friendly here, in spite of what you hear on the other channels. No, I'm just kidding. But as you can tell, see, we always like to crack a joke. But if you are new, I know we have some new people joining in from before. Welcome. If other people have not and you are new watching, that's what we're here for. So say hello if you have a question. Ask a question, and one of us will try to answer it this year. No, just kidding. But hello, Paul. How are you? Paul, maybe we'll get you on the next private chat. I had to cancel for tonight, so let's see here. I don't think we missed any other questions, did we?
Not that I know of, no.
Yeah, a lot of comments. Okay. Why don't we, Paul, you just got home from work. Well, welcome, Paul. I stayed on just for you, sort of. I'm up because, well, I'm here and we're supposed to get snowstorm tomorrow, as probably a lot of people are, so I'll be probably stuck inside the weekend snowbound. You know, debating whether I should, whether it's important to shovel the driveway or not. I gotta tell,
it'll just get bad again.
You know, if I had a 4-wheel drive, I wouldn't shovel squat. I would just run over it and just go. You know, but I don't. I got a front wheel drive, and it's it's not gonna work. Yeah. Joe says the snow is piling up. Joey's in Chicago. It's coming my way. I know. I know, it's coming my way. Yeah.
Yeah, I was reading an article. What it said, the polar vortex ruptured. And
Oh, snap!
Cold weather from the Canadian North.
Wow.
Sounds very high tech.
See, it's weather like this where newbies have the time to learn Linux. See.
Okay, so I have a question now.
You ain't going anywhere. You may as well.
I might as well. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Benjamin.
I have a question now. If we divert all the funds from the wall around Mexico, right? Don't build the wall around Mexico. Build it across Canada instead. Can we keep out these cold fronts? And
if you make it high enough, yes.
Yeah. Let's do it then.
I'm all for that. To keep us warmer.
We might get funding for that.
We might get right, really, yeah.
Yeah, we can get the government up and running again. Who wouldn't be on board with that?
I agree, yeah.
Somebody just said, anyone tried BSD? I've tried Ghost BSD one time, and
I
the
tried
Ethernet
it.
driver
I
would
could not.
work.
I cracked it. Just remember that BSD begins with BS.
I tried Ghost BSD too. It was an odd experience. To say the
Yeah.
least.
No, never
was-
tried it.
It was like
Ricky,
it
you
was,
got spooked.
it was like Linux, but it wasn't.
I could not get it. Yeah, it's. I don't think it's for newbies. I'll put it to you that way. Yeah.
Well, Ghost BSD is I think the closest to user friendly of all the
Okay.
BSDs. It's like the Ubuntu of the BSDs.
Oh, okay.
It's nowhere near as user friendly as Ubuntu, but yeah.
DistroTube Spudley says DistroTube tried it. He didn't at least more than a day mostly try to fix it. Okay. All right. Well. Yeah.
Yeah, I have enough trouble trying to learn Linux without trying to go to BSD and learn something in that. Gee, Linux,
It's
you could,
different.
I think you could go your whole life and still just be learning Linux. To be honest, you know, there's so much to learn.
That's true. I mean,
I heard
what,
that a good way to look at it is that BSD is where Linux was 10 years ago.
Joe Panico says BSD is Be Stupid Daily. Joe, that's a go. I'm going to mark. That's one for Joe. Okay, very good. I like that. People who do BSD, send all your email to Joe. It wasn't me. Oh man. Okay. Anyway, I'm gonna get my news and nonsense here ready to go. Since
I am going to jump off, gentlemen. I've got to work.
Okay.
All right, Steve. We'll
Oh,
catch you
see you
later,
later,
buddy.
Steve.
All right, later,
Take
Steve.
care. Yep.
Good seeing you.
Take care, everybody.
Yep.
See you, mate.
Yeah.
See, I needed Tim from Minnesota to join in because I got some oddball news. It says friends use couch to skate across Minnesota frozen lake. Talk about couch potatoes.
That must have been a comfortable skate.
Yeah, there's a couch on the front being pulled by something. Looks like he has a hockey stick in his hand. Okay, well,
Yeah, work the couch.
yeah, it's reality TV.
But mom and dad, we're getting outdoor. We're getting time outdoors.
Yes, exactly.
That's what's important.
There you go.
Okay, they've been storing too much ice over there in Minnesota, evidently. Yeah. What else? What else? Where is Tim when we need him? Okay. What else do we have here?
Where's the frying pan?
Pennsylvania man's pet alligator is an emotional support animal.
Oh,
What emotion?
That won't
would
end
that
well.
support?
I have no idea.
the only thing the alligator will see is food.
Yeah. Yeah, the alligator will get a lot of support after that. Yeah.
But after my alligator, I mean, I felt threatened by that guy. My alligator just took care of him for me.
Yeah.
7-year-old barber draws attention at Houston shop. Wow, that's a
Oh,
skilled kid.
wow.
Nice. Yeah. Well, good for him. I think it's him. No, it's a her. Oh, good for her.
Oh,
Nice. Yeah, good for her, whoever she is. Nice. What else do we have here? Police, Pennsylvania again. Police seek volunteers to get drunk for a training exercise. I'll volunteer. Yeah.
That is not too uncommon. When I was, went down, well, I guess up and over to did a workshop with one of the country's foremost experts in forensic chemistry. Name is Kaplan up in Williams College. And he holds these workshops on forensics and basically doing like a CSI type thing. So we got in there and we're there for, I don't know, 3 or 4 days staying on campus, and we have to basically solve a crime. Well, to get into the forensics part, he handed one of the guys a stack of cash and said, "Don't come back unless you're very drunk." So, he sent a DD guy with him, so we didn't have any issues. But, and we got a little concerned because they were late, really late. But he comes back and he's just trembling all over himself, just, So we were able to run through the entire range of all of the different alcohol tests that you do in forensics. And so that's actually not all that uncommon to find for training exercises to go get hammered, because you get in you get those traffic stops at night, they got the flashlights and they're doing this. Those actually have breathalyzers on those. And those flashlights are pulling in air. It's not submissible in court, but if that thing goes up, that tells them that they're justified in doing submissible sobriety field tests.
Interesting.
And so all these types of cute little things we did. We ran the guy through the breathalyzer. We ran the guy through the flashlights.
I just had a joke. What if you get pulled over and the police officer politely says, "Excuse me, sir, but have you been drinking?" "No, I have not." You just burp it out, but...
I sort of drunk. I'm not God.
Yeah, it's like that old joke: two drunk guys went ice fishing. They caught 500 pounds of ice. Okay. Women twerk. This is from the other night. Women twerk atop moving vehicle on Missouri highway.
Oh, good God.
Okay, well, I live in the wrong state, evidently.
Hop on the next bus to Missouri.
Yeah. Nike's new golf shoes feature a coating of grass.
What?
So after you wear them, you can smoke them? I don't know. That's what it says. Grass-like turf material to make the shoes blend in with the course. That is definitely a fashion statement. Let's see here. San Diego bar with 2,800 whiskey seeks Guinness records.
Oh.
Okay. Well, I guess people got to drink them all in one night. I don't know. Let's see here. Grocery store deploying robots to all locations. That should be interesting.
No.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. Nashville police remove coyote from the bathroom. Okay, that's a heck of a police report. A California man rents a $1,500 apartment for his daughter's cats.
What?
Meow. Really? It's a California thing. I don't know what to tell you. Yeah. Let's see here. Commuters.
Oh, you go ahead.
Where the heck is this at? I want to go there. Commuters shed trousers for annual no pants subway ride. What looks like a female with no pants on. That's a heck of a ride, huh? No, but yeah, I don't know where that's at. I think I mentioned this. Yeah, go ahead.
How is that?
Snake. I've got here for you. Snake swallowing another snake spotted on farmer's property in South Australia.
Oh, wow. So instead of a dog-eat-dog world, it's a snake-eat-snake world.
Snake.
Yeah, right, yeah.
Oh.
I think I mentioned this last time. Costco is selling a 27-pound bucket of macaroni and cheese.
Oh yeah, we didn't mention that last week. I think it was.
Yeah, they sold out.
They sold out. Yeah. Anything else here? What was that? Screaming.
Oops.
I think that's actually my girls.
Okay. Hey, they saw that snake. Go see what's up with them. Yeah.
But they're inside the house. I'm in the garage.
Okay. Well, they're having fun. Let's see here. You know what happened? One of the girls says, "Fedora!" Ah! No, just kidding. Just kidding, Fedora. This is in Texas. Texas sheriff using cardboard deputies to deter speeders.
Wow.
There was this place.
Clever.
The cardboard cutout of a cop with to deter speeders. Of course, if you're speeding, you can't tell right away.
Well, and that's actually that's not entirely new. There are some cases where they would literally just leave a police car parked on the side of the road and just really cuts it down.
Because you don't know if it's being manned or not, you know.
Yeah.
I did a news and nonsense report last year with Stephanie. There was a place in Britain or somewhere. The local citizens were so sick of local speeders and residents, roads there, that they took it upon themselves to wear these highway reflective vests, like yellow vests. You know what they grabbed? They grabbed hair dryers, pointing it to make it look like guns, but it's for speeding. So I cracked a joke. Boy, those citizens are packing some heat, let me tell you. No, anyway,
that kind of reminds me of the joke. This guy calls out the police and he's like, these guys are just speeding way faster here. I mean, you can send somebody over to do something. They're like, we'll go up and we'll put up new signs. So they go up, put new signs, and people keep speeding by. He's like, nothing's helping. He says, can I do something about it? Like, sure, go ahead and give it a try. He puts up his own new signs. All of a sudden, like, everyone's going through there super slow. Police can't figure it out. He's like, what in the world did you do? He put up signs that said slow, nudist calling.
There you go. All right, let me see what else we have here. I'll probably wrap this up around midnight my time, so another 15 minutes. Let's see. Passenger who jumped 11 stories off cruise ship hopes he doesn't inspire others. I would hope that would not. Yeah. Okay. Let's see here. NASA discovers South Park character Mr. Hanky the Christmas Pooh on Jupiter.
Oh,
that's a heck of.
They did it. They did exile from him from the town. So
okay.
Yeah,
that's a heck of a headline. Yeah, that's okay. Let's see here. A Florida man threatens to kill neighbor with kindness. The name of his machete. That's gone.
What?
Yeah.
He named his machete.
He named it the machete kindness. Yeah.
Oh my
God. Yeah. Yep. Let's see here. Let's see what else do we have here. Paris' first nude restaurant closes for lack of business.
What?
Yeah. I
can't imagine why.
I can't imagine. Yeah, really.
Or male nudes?
I don't know why they closed since they had nothing to hide. Yeah.
Oh, it's this. Microsoft is going to end support for Windows Mobile this year.
Yeah.
My Hangouts crashed again. My fault.
Oh no. I think I mentioned this. Maybe not. Man assaulted convenience store employee with banana.
A banana.
Oh God. Okay, I won't extend that story. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, with the banana.
Is that peeled or unpeeled?
God.
You should have used an apple.
Okay. Vancouver restaurant denies serving up dead rat in chowder.
Oh.
You dirty rat, you. Yeah. Let's see here. Accused thief made his getaway on stolen front end loader. They're not very fast, so yeah.
I bet he did not get too far.
No.
Nope.
A burglar breaks into a house to watch TV, convinces homeowner to give him a ride. Where, to the police station?
I would have loved to have been a fly on that wall to hear that
really.
conversation.
Wow. Let's see what else we have here. Motorist tells angry cyclist he can use cell phone safely, then hits another car. Okay. Cockroaches are becoming big business in China.
Well, they've been in big business everywhere.
I guess, yeah, really. I don't think I'll go there. Let's see here. No, all right. Let's go to one more site, then we'll wrap this up here.
I will say one interesting thing about cockroaches, though. It pretty much doesn't matter whether you put them under radiation or cut their heads off or whatever. They tend to survive for a very long time.
They are persistent. Yeah.
Oh, then maybe we need a cockroach Linux then.
I won't go that far. Yeah. But I won't. Yeah.
It'll be a persistent Linux.
Yeah. Let's see. Australians reportedly reclaim burnout record with 126 cars. Well, there you go.
Interesting.
And all I see are tires burning steam, smoke coming out. I guess they got tired of all that.
Yeah, I'm sure. Bada boom.
Yeah, bada boom. Let's see here. Yes, I know winter storm warning. I'm still watching Weather Channel. I don't know why. But
Vermin Linux.
Oh, wow.
It's snow in the middle of January in New England really is such a surprise.
Omega Beast said that they banned encryption in Australia. I didn't know that.
Enough of
Vince,
that.
you know anything about that?
I think that's to do with that act to make businesses open up their software for crime investigations. What's it called again? What's it, Tom, again? What was that again, Tom? The assist and...
Yeah, it's it has to do with their it really is against encryption. So
and Signal came out and said, "Oh no, we just can't. We won't be able to abide."
Yeah, we simply can't comply. So it's basically any company that provides any degree of encrypted service is mandated by the government to open that encryption up and grant that information to law enforcement.
But thanks, Tom. You know more about it than Colin and myself.
Which is kind of funny. You're over in Australia. That's okay. Yeah.
I don't really bother too much about that stuff, to be honest.
Are they making another Crocodile Dundee movie?
Are they?
I thought I saw something or read something. Maybe it was about one of the stars. I don't know.
Paul Hogan's getting on a bit.
Yeah, is he still walking around, Paul Hogan, or what? He must be getting on in age. Can he? Is he still with what's her name? Is he still with
that blonde chick? Yeah.
Yeah, he's still with her, is he?
I don't know. I forget her name now.
What's her name? Yeah, I can't remember her name either.
Yeah.
Well, Hollywood's into all these reboots now, so why not reboot Crocodile Dundee?
Might as well.
From what IGN reported, we're getting a Ghostbusters movie again, but this time it's an actual sequel. We're finally getting the third movie after all these years.
That really, I'll believe that one when I actually see it, because Bill Murray wants nothing to do with a sequel to Ghostbusters. That's why there hasn't been one. One of the guy that played Venkman died. And so it's like, who's left? You know? So, I mean, maybe it'll happen, but...
They should make like a Godfather Ghostbusters. Hey, Paulie, what's that freaking thing floating around? Shoot the freaking... No, but that would be something different. Mamma mia, what is it that? Yeah.
Anthony said Linda Kozlowski. That's her.
it, Linda Kozlowski.
And who else said Joe Prosco? No, Somebody said they're divorced.
Joe.
Anthony
Panico.
said they're divorced. Anthony said they're divorced.
Joe Panico said. Okay, all
There
right.
you go. Paul Hogan is 79.
79.
He could do geriatric cargo.
Geriatric Dundee.
Geriatric.
That's not a walking stick. This is a walking stick.
Yeah, really.
You know, he started off as painting the Sydney Harbour Bridge. You know that was his main job. He used to paint the Sydney Harbour Bridge over and over. Yeah, they never stopped painting that apparently.
Yeah, what happens with the bridge is once you get to the other side, finish painting it, the first side needs painting again.
Yeah, okay. There you go.
The job for life.
Yeah. And apparently he stopped some of his early TV shows coming on social media. I think they're up there now, some of them, but he tried very hard to stop them. I don't know why, because it's some of his best work. Actually, you know, we used to love watching him when we were kids on TV. He used to have some funny material. So
yeah, that's not a knife. This is a knife. Remember that scene? I was like, yes, this is a knife.
The hilarious thing about that particular scene is that his knife, of course, was fake, but the switchblade in that scene was real.
It still was a funny. It still was. There are certain scenes in movies. Thank you, Jeff, for the super chat. I haven't heard from you in a while. Thank you.
I haven't seen Jeff around for a while either, I must say.
Thank you. Yeah, certain scenes. Me and my friend were talking about the Austin Powers movie. Have you seen them? Anyway,
not many of them.
Yeah, the first one, there were scenes with this Italian secretary. Anyway, there's certain scenes stick out that are still funny. But Jeff says you're lazy. So are you still doing Linux or I don't know what you're doing. Okay.
What are you running, Jeff? What are you running? Yeah, what were you saying, Toss, about Austin Powers?
Yeah, Austin Powers. There are some scenes. Some scenes in movies, but some scenes in that there are still classics, like Mini Me. You know,
Mini Me.
And yeah, Jeff, Ubuntu. Well, Jeff, you missed the show, but we agreed sort of that Ubuntu should be the national Linux desktop here in the States, or at least a consideration. So there you go. Yeah, and. I might consider doing a weekly Ubuntu show. Get more, spread the word more out there. My cat will attack you says if I leave dental floss in the kitchen, they hang themselves. Okay.
I heard a funny one the other day. Toss. Somebody was saying that if they want to try and solve global warming. They reckon that the northern hemisphere should change from Fahrenheit to Celsius because then you've dropped it down from 100 to about 30-something degrees.
Of course, yes. That'll be the cheap way out, yeah. Jeff, what made you pick Ubuntu?
Call for modern solutions.
CJ wants Mint National. Okay, yeah, I would have no problem with that, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Jeff. What made you pick Ubuntu out of all the choices? I know you. You used to distro hop for a while. A few years ago.
He used to be constant distro hopping. Jeff did, but I think he was, because of his videos like I do now.
Yeah.
You do that to show people, what's the newest or what's going on. So,
Oh, yeah. And Jeff picks because he's crazy or lazy. Sorry, you're just lazy. Okay. Okay, that means because it just works. There's no tweaking. Is that why? Okay.
Well, when it comes to Ubuntu, you don't really need to do much. I mean, it's already set up to go out of the box.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
Justine, check. You had talking about Steam Proton, yeah.
A few guys on Big Daddy Linux Live have been saying that the Steam Proton's working quite well.
Okay.
There are some games I wouldn't be able to tell you which ones that they had a few issues with, but overall it's not too bad. A lot of them have been able to play their Windows games in Linux, so it can only get better, can't it? To be.
I'm gonna gonna say that by the end of the year, we're going to have more Steam games compatible with Proton than we do right now.
Well, right now I had an issue running Quake 4 in Proton. I had an issue running Doom 3. And so I'm thinking that the Proton is favoring like the newer games, the newer titles. It's taking them a while to go back to the older ones.
Yeah, well, it's probably in their best interest to do the most up-to-date games, isn't it, really, when you think about it?
Yeah.
That's what's going to bring the people in, the newest ones.
Because
the most popular.
Well, there is an AUR package called Steam Wine that runs those games for me, so it's no big deal for me, but yeah.
See, I'm not a gamer, so Linux for me is quite, really, at the end of the day, fairly easy because I don't game. I don't mind playing games, but I sort of pretty much give them up a long time ago. Spend all my time just messing around with Linux itself, so I probably should get into it a bit so I can sort of show people how things work with games, but
Yeah. Anyway, gentlemen, it's almost midnight. I'm hitting the hay, so good night.
All right, enjoy the warm weather down there.
See you, Ricky. Ricky's turning into a pumpkin.
Good night.
See you, mate.
Good night.
Bye, Ricky.
Let's see. Pixel Refresh says Zero Shell as National Desktop. I'm not familiar with Zero Shell.
Is that the one? Is that the one that Ferran OS is looking at?
I don't know.
Or is that Zero or something? Yeah.
I don't know.
Zero Shell. Haven't heard of that one before.
Zero Shell.
Have to look that one up.
Okay. Don't know that one. Yeah. Oh, you're not being serious.
I'm not being serious.
Okay. Okay. See, with Linux, I just don't know what's a joke or what's not. I mean, if somebody said, "Hey, have you tried Dead Beef Player?" Oh, come on, Dead Beef. No, it's a real. Yeah, I just don't know. You know.
Zero Shell Linux router. I'm on their homepage now. Yeah.
You Googled the most obscure Zero Shell does not exist. Okay.
Yeah, we could believe anything if somebody says something about
in Linux. You just never know.
You could just believe just about
calamari installer, really. Yeah, I like to install calamari down my throat. Oh, delicious! Yeah. All right, let's make it is midnight, the witching hour. So I'm tired of watching Weather Channel to my left, so I'm gonna go to bed here. So let's make this the last call for comments, and then that way I can rest myself. So when I wake up in the morning, I can cry when I see all the snow. So, man, I would have loved to be this time of year to be live streaming from like South Beach or something.
Oh, there you go. There's an interesting comment from Jeff TOS. Read that one because we were just talking about. Well, I was. Anyway.
One distro I won't touch was a big supporter of Deepin OS. All their packages are behind as well. The video drivers, which date back 2 years. Okay.
So there you go. I didn't know that.
Well, doesn't Deepin use the Ubuntu repository?
No, my mistake. Debian. They're based on Debian.
Okay.
Used to use Ubuntu, but it's.
Oh, they use the Ubuntu repositories, do they?
Okay. Is that what it is? Okay. Joe Prosco, what's your comment? Go ahead. Thank you, Anthony, for stopping by.
There you go, TOS. There's that for you.
Linux Dabbler, thank you.
We're waiting. Joe Prosco, you got a comment to make?
Comment?
We're waiting for your comment.
Yeah.
Oh, he's probably typing as we speak, maybe.
Okay. Or maybe that was his comment. I have a comment. Was his comment?
Could be.
Could be.
There
Yeah.
you go,
You guys are awesome too. Oh, thank you. Oh, that's so warm and kind of you, son of a. No, just kidding.
That's just on my desktop.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, that's what the water's like in Florida.
Where's that? Is that a personal picture or?
That's up the coast here in New South Wales.
Oh yeah, okay.
Nice. Yeah, this time of year, Florida, man. I should have just taken a few days, just head down south, and say, "Surprise! I'm from South Beach, wearing my Tuskegee or something," But no.
Tuskegee.
Yeah, no, or maybe not. Yeah. But I would have been live streaming from South Beach somewhere. Great show, everyone. That's your comment. Well, thank you, Joe. Very kind of you. Thank you for stopping by and saying hello. Jeff, just go ahead and you came in late. Just once YouTube stops processing, just go ahead and replay it. Some of these shows I transcode to a podcast to an MP3. If you go to archive.org, just search Total OS Today Live. There's some free downloads there, past shows. So yeah. Thank you, Anarita. Yeah, Tossin and Speedo. What a great picture to go to bed with. But here's the thing: I would wear my swim trunks, but I would only show from here up anyway. Yeah. You're welcome, Jeff. Yeah. That was a no joke. President Clinton was a Rhodes Scholar from the waist up. Oh man.
Speaking of wastes, we were at the beach the other day, and my wife was taking photos of me and the kids playing. And I've discovered there's an Australian term here. I need to get fitter. That called a muffin top.
Muffin top. Yeah.
Yeah, I've discovered I've developed a little bit of muffin top. You know what? You guys know what that is? It's picture a muffin, and how the top of the muffin goes over the actual paper.
Mm-hmm.
That's what that is when you look at someone's abdomen over their shorts.
The other name for it is called love handles, Toss. I don't know whether you know it.
I kind of, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that's another resolution for this year. I've got to get fitter.
Well, for some people who are that size, I call them airbags. When you fall, you're okay, But anyway, I love you too, Anarita. Yes, welcome and goodbye, because I'm ready to get off here. Preference service or system D, or system CTL rather. I don't really have a preference. Yeah.
I don't have a preference either. I know that stuff can affect you if you do a lot of startup stuff and all that.
I prefer what works. That's my preference.
Yeah, whatever works. I don't really go into that sort of stuff, really.
Yeah, I don't get that picky.
I don't know enough about init systems to comment on that one.
Yeah.
But I've been using Arch for a while. I'm used to System D.
Yeah.
And I just learned how to use cron jobs to get my updater working for one of my scripts. So, yeah, I would say I'm more used to System D.
Okay.
I don't know much about it. Anyway, so.
Okay. All right, Anarita. Thank you for your warm comments.
Thank you, Anarita.
Yes. It's funny. No, never mind. I won't say that. But anyway, thank you for another informative. Thank you, Ron. Great to have you all here for this pre-snowstorm show here in Ohio. So, all right. So yeah, the next one I'll do will be a private chat sometime tomorrow or Sunday. If you would like to be part of that, that's for all my supporters. Just as a thank you, you can be part of that. Just check out the links below in the show notes if you'd like to join in, and we'll do a private chat as a thank you. That topic will be smart TVs and why they are so cheap. You may not like the answer, as it were. So that's all I have for this. Next show will be under 18 inches of snow. Yes. Mm-hmm.
I've got some visitors I'm picking up tomorrow night from the airport, Toss, and I think they're from Georgia.
Really?
Yeah,
wow.
my wife's cousins live over there.
Wow.
And they're Cambodians, and they're from Georgia. I think they're in Sydney at the moment, and they're coming to stay with us. They're staying with us for a couple of days, so we're going to show them around Perth.
They came at the right time. It's still warm there, right? Yeah.
Yeah, nice. It's up to 97, I think, in your terms.
Fahrenheit. Today. Okay. Yeah. Wow. Good timing.
Colin, do you get Cambodian food?
Oh yeah, my wife cooks all really nice Cambodian food, mate. She's a great cook,
Yum,
and
yum, yum.
and she cooks Aussie food as well. So she's really good at that as well. So yeah, we get the best of all worlds in my house.
Nice.
Nice, yeah.
Nice. Very nice.
Nice.
Well, I'm going to go to bed because I have a very nice warm bed waiting for me. So thank you all here for joining. Thank you all in the live chat,
Thank you, TOS.
all the new people, the guys and the girls. Thank you who came in, joined in. This was very nice. Switch, you have a live stream tomorrow at 12, right?
About
something.
12:30. 12:30 typically. Yep.
Okay, 12:30
Depending on
Eastern
when I wake up
time.
in the morning.
Okay, yeah, you're right. Switch will wake up and say, snow! But see, that's a good time to do your fire stream with the snow behind you and combine the fire. You know,
Yeah,
it'll be a nice, just
melt, snow, melt.
yeah. Anyway, so check out Switch's stream tomorrow at 12:30. Again, I'll be on again. I don't know, tomorrow. Just check your emails for that private chat. It'll be probably a short one, and then we'll go from there. So once I wake up in the morning, I'll see what it looks like. So unless I hurt myself shuffling snow, I should be back on. I'll probably come on with the sword. Okay, so for today's private chat, oh my neck, no. But anyway, all right, I'm going to bed, gentlemen, ladies. Have a good night. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Cheers.
Bye, everyone.